All right, what's up, everyone? My name is Zach Lee Trades, and I am trying to make 100,000 in the stock market this year, doing so with a public portfolio. Now, what we're doing particularly is trying to focus on high frequency options trading, keeping a large cash balance in the account. And if you start off with $1,000 and you can make 2% a day, that account will end the year off at 144,000. That's right. It's a 144x basically. Okay. So really, really big gains. It's very tough to do. Okay. This isn't something that, I'm trying to set as realistic goals for people, especially beginners, and different things like that. But I just wanted to rather show the power behind compound interest. Okay. 2% a day, with $1,000 account is simply $20. All right. Being able to make 20 bucks a day with $1,000 and, hopefully, make a day trade or swing trade and still be able to hit that 2%. Now, the reason that, we're keeping it something like trying to make $20 with $1,000 is because if you have a small account and you're trying to do, high risk options trading or things like that, high risk strategies, what's really important is to define your risk. And so you can do that by keeping small amounts, using smaller amounts to trade. If you're trading high risk options and doing or leveraged ETFs and things like that, $100 is 20% return on that is your 20 bucks, right? And let's say you get stopped out of the play. Let's say worst case scenario, the position goes to zero, the account isn't totally blown up. If you have some type of winning strategy, depending on what your risk reward ratios are, you can have a different win rate. If you have a 3-to-1 or 4-to-1 risk reward ratio, you can afford to take, two, three losses, and then that win will make up for those gains, or that those gains from the win will make up for the losses. If you've got a tighter risk reward ratio and it's like 1-to-1 or something like that, well, then you want to have, 70-80% win rate, in my opinion. So, I kind of combined a little bit of everything with the account. We'll take a look at it today. We were able to get 3%, which is above our goal. Yesterday, we got 3% as well. I just did an update on Friday, recording this Tuesday night. So, 3% days in a row, which is pretty nice. We can see the current positions that we've got open. And I'm holding some losers, right? Okay. DraftKings, open P&L, $46 loss. DraftKings, some different call options. I'm up $1 on those. We've got ET, which is Energy Transfer. This is a stock that we did really well on in 2024 in the Discord. We got over 1,000% on the call options. So once the trade idea came out, I had to take some in the small account challenge. Then we've got some Nvidia. My brother just turned 18, so I, sent him the link to Robinhood, got him a Robinhood account, sent him some Bitcoin, so now he's got his account funded. So I got like a free share of Nvidia in here. And then we've got some VOD call options that we are up about $19 on. So that's the current positions. But let's talk about what we're doing with the portfolio. Okay, so we've got $1 in Bitcoin, $1 in XRP, $1 in Solana, daily buy-ins. We're dollar cost averaging into crypto. And then we've got a weekly buy-in of $5 on Bitcoin. Now, the reason we have those amounts is, again, trying to show people that things are possible. You can do things with small accounts. You don't have to have $100,000 to make money in the stock market. You just have to have realistic expectations. All right. So, the reason this is because, $3 a day in these times 7 days a week, because crypto is 24/7, that's $21. And then you've got $5 in Bitcoin, that's 26. So roughly $25 a week times 4 weeks is $100 a month. So that's $100 a month that we're depositing into the account, and just showing you guys the power of dollar cost averaging. Okay, so we can take a look and see the crypto positions. I don't know. I'm trying to get used to Robinhood. There, this is the Robinhood legend. I don't see anywhere for crypto on here. But if you take a look right here, the account is basically at $2,000 cash with about 3,000, right around here for the total account size. All right. And we've got roughly $300 in Bitcoin. Okay, so we've got roughly 2,000 in cash, $300 in Bitcoin, or not just Bitcoin, but crypto rather. And that's going to increase. Remember, 25 bucks a week, is 100 bucks a month. And if you do that for 12 months, that's 1,200 invested roughly. And then, you can see the power of dollar cost averaging at the end of the year and see if you've got some gains or if you're sitting on a paper loss at the end of the year. It's a really fun experiment. Very excited to do this with you guys. And let's go ahead and talk about some of the trades that we made. Okay. We can see the progress here where we got 3% on the day. It starts off small. Okay. And you're not going to be making big amounts of money, aiming for that 2% a day goal. But what I want you guys to see is once you start to get around 60 days here, all right, you're making around 60 bucks a month from that $1,000, okay, or 60 bucks a day. 5 days a week, that's $300 now a week that you're looking to potentially make. Now, nobody's ever going to be perfect. You're going to have lots of losing days throughout the period. Okay, you just have to accept those losses. And in today's video, we'll review a couple trades that I took losses on technically, but still made the profit back somewhere else. Um, and eventually, you'll get to a point where that compound interest just continues to rise so much. Once you're around 80 days into this, then you're making roughly around $100 a day with that 2% goal, and your account's at 5,000. So just think about that. In about 80 trading days, you can potentially turn $1,000 into $5,000. And then from there, just that power of compound interest really, really grows, right? Let's take a look at where we're at 100 days. You're roughly at 7K, making $136 a day with that 2%. If we fast forward to 200 days, right around 200 days into it, and your account's at a whopping 50 grand, making $1,000 a day with that 2% goal. So it really, really starts to add up. And then from, 200 to the end of the year, right around 250, because there's roughly 250, it goes from 50K to 140K. And again, that's just that power of compound interest because, you have $1,000, you're aiming for that 2%. Eventually, you build it up to $2,000, and now you're making 2% on that $2,000. Then you're making 2% on 5,000, 2% on 10,000, and the power of that compound interest really, really starts to grow. So I'm really excited. I've never done anything like this before, and we're gonna record the journey. Okay, so we can see the recent orders that we've got here. Again, I just want to highlight buying power, cash. I left about 700 buying power on the table today. So if I wanted to, go heavier in some of these trades, I could have. Today, PPI came out this morning. I was expecting a pretty volatile market, and we had lots of swings. Even with me leaving in the day to go pick up my new semi-auto shotgun that I just ordered, I was still able to find some opportunities early in the morning, and then whenever I got back from that and assembled my new toy, I was able to find some more trading opportunities. So let's try to start here in the beginning and take a look at some of the orders that we got filled on. EQT, I had a sell order on EQT. This is a trade from the Discord. So we'll go ahead and just take a look, right? A lot of the trades in this are going to be day trades on SPY, but we're also going to have we're also going to have some trade ideas that I follow from the Discord, obviously, of course, the trade ideas that I'm posting. So we can take a look here on January 7th. We had the weekly chart base breakout, formation. Currently, we're right in the middle of that base breakout. And then we were looking at this on a smaller time frame on the daily, respecting the Fibonacci's very well, setting up a nice base, looking for that move up to 50. And EQT went well past 50 today. So I was able to take profit on those and take some profit on those. We have VOD. I really just sold one of those because I had 11 contracts and I just didn't like that odd number. And I was able to get out, basically at break even, like $1 above break even. So that just cleaned it up for me. And, mentally, I just like looking at having 10 contracts, a nice round number. RTX was another one. That was another one of our trade ideas. In the Discord, we talked about RTX. So we'll go ahead and post up the trade idea that we had on RTX. This is when we were watching it. The details of the trade is, and the ideas behind it is for the Discord members. But we were looking for this breakout, right? We were getting a MACD crossover and, short-term price target of 119.45. We came up to there today and hit that anchored VWAP resistance. So that was a nice trade. Went ahead and took some profits on RTX. And then I started doing some day trades, right? We did SPY. I filled a call option on SPY early in the morning. And the reason being is because we were trading above the VWAP and the anchored VWAP, the weekly anchored VWAP, riding just some of that momentum for a quick scalp. I had a sell order filled on ET. That was also another one of our trade ideas here recently on ET. Let's talk about ET right here. So ET actually popped up a few times. Um, but let me see here. Where's the most recent one? Oh yeah, this is from the Zone Finder longs. So this one looked really, really good. The Zone Finder is a custom script that we've got for Discord members, that charts supply and demand zones for you. I love it when it aligns with some Fibonacci levels. And sure enough, we had demand building, right above a Fibonacci there, and targeting 19.83. And ET actually came up to the base breakout levels, hit $20 today. But once when you build something, you got to respect the levels, right? So ET came up to the profit targets for the Zone Finder, and we were able to take profit on that play today as well. So ET, and then that call option that we bought for 120, right here, we ended up selling it here for about 130. So only $10, right? And that's the thing is these things may not blow you away. I may not be making $500 on each trade. The count's only $3,000. So, you know, if that was $1,000 that we put into that, or $1,200, that was $100 in a very quick time period here as well, too, in 6 minutes, right? For at 9:37, 9:43, boom, we're out. Got a quick little scalp. Okay, then later in the day, about an hour later, we hopped in some more call options, some different call options here. Various call options right in through here. We are able to sell those for some nice profits there as well. Actually, this is a good point right here. So if we look at these 584 calls, I got filled at 90 on these. And if you take a look at where we sold, I sold two of them at 60. Okay. And the reason being was because I initially had an early entry here. And you can see I got back into some different call options, the 582s, roughly about 10 minutes later. Okay. Let's just call it about 10 minutes later. Got in a new position, and then I bought back into that original position to lower the average cost basis. It lowered it to about 62 or 63 cents. And I made $20 off of this contract right here. So made $20 off of this one, $24 on the 582s that we bought, and got out of those. So that was a nice little trade, roughly about 20% in 15 minutes. So good trade there. But these ones, I didn't want to mess around, right? I knew that I had that original bad entry here at 90. If you think about it, when you're buying at 42, that call option was down 50%, right? So that's what we talk about when keeping risk minimal, right? If I would have put $490 in there, or let's say $5,000 in there, then that could have skewed the account, basis, right? And that could have wiped away a lot of the gains. And when you see your portfolio moving up and down so quickly with certain large positions, that can alter your mind state. And so I could have panic sold that there. But instead, I got back into it at 42, sold it at 60. So I made $18 plus the 24. And then I sold that original contract that we bought at 90 back at 60. So lost $30 on one, but we still ended up green on the whole trade thesis and the whole trade overall. I just had one early entry. And rather than waiting and hoping for the contract to get back to 90, went ahead and just got out and said, hey, let me go ahead and cut the loss on that initial position. Once I bought back in, I made more money off of that than what I originally lost. Okay. So we've got those. Then we've got some more quick trades here. Okay. Buying into some more 582 calls at 60. Shortly after, this was not too much shortly after. So the same position that we sold for 60, we ended up getting back in about an hour and a half later on a new opportunity, bought some at 50. So average cost base is 55. And then we got out of those at 65 and 66 within about 10 minutes or less. Then next after that, we got into some put options. We can take a look at the timeline for these things too here as well. Man, I really fumbled this put. I was so frustrated with this because I had just got back and was looking, and I was like, oh, hey, well, we're back at the opening range low. That was right over here. If you take a look, this is 1440. We get filled at 1441. So I'm coming in here and it quickly went 50%. And I was a little distracted, wanted to play with my new toy. I had just got it assembled. So I went ahead and filled that order. It took it for a quick 50%. And those puts ended up going from $49 that we bought in at to $380 a piece. So definitely missed out on some gains, but I wasn't going to revenge trade it or do anything irrational. So I just happened to come back and look and say, oh man, I could have made a lot more money if I would have held that put. But, don't want to overreact. I had also got into some DraftKings puts as a hedge. Right now, DraftKings is the largest position in this portfolio. So, with DraftKings was up about 5 or 6 days in a row. It was hitting its 50% retracement resistance. So it made sense for me to go ahead and grab a put there and that went up from 68 to 77. So I went ahead and took advantage of that. Just sold that really quickly so I could get that cash back. Remember, I'm trying to focus on keeping cash heavy in this portfolio, maybe at least until we're in a clear bullish cycle, and then I can start swinging more confidently with some positions. But this market these days, we've seen a lot of things. We'll have big 1.5% days on the S&P 500, and then the next day we'll have we'll drop a percent or 1.5% on the S&P 500. It's been a tough market this year so far to trade in. And then one final trade here at the end of the day, bought some call options at 57, sold them at 68. So, you're not seeing anything mind-blowing. Okay, there's no magic behind all of this. As I mentioned, there's still 700 cash, so I could have went a lot heavier in these positions. Didn't really want to. And I'm fine with, just taking lots of profits. So, out of every option contract that we bought and sold today, we basically took a loss on one of those option contracts. But when it comes to total trade efficiency, every trade was a winner so far today. And that was what got us to our 3% goal. Also, ET was really nice. That position's up 56%. We sold some of it, and we still have one contract remaining. So this is what we call a runner. If this goes back to break even, I'll probably just stop it out because, don't want to give back any losses. I've already secured some profits on it. But this one, I really like ET. This is a stock that we did really well on, a few months ago. And like I said, it went over 1,000%. So, we're going to see if it can continue to do good for me. I find that whenever stocks pop up in the scans that I have and the custom scripts and indicators that I've created, and you see them continue to pop up week after week, or, maybe it pops up one week and then it's in a new scan the next week, and then in the next month it's in a new scan. I really love to see that, and it just shows that there continues to be buying opportunities for certain names. It really helps you identify things that are trending, and ET certainly was on a very bullish trend. With energy picking up here lately, it only made sense to get in that. EQT was also energy. I mean, I don't remember if I put those out in the newsletter. I'm pretty sure I did. If you guys aren't familiar, I have a completely free newsletter called Investment Intelligence, where I give out free, finance and trading related content, as well as free trade ideas. And I'm pretty sure I talked about natural gas. And EQT was one of the natural gas stocks that we highlighted in there. That was a really easy trade to make, and was able to secure some profits on that. As you saw, it was one of the beginning positions that we sold. So, yeah, that's it. That's basically a review of today's trades. As you guys can see, lots of trades, lots of orders, not making insane amounts of money, but that's because of this account size, right? And we're just trying to, and I'm trying to keep myself focused with this account of, not trying to, day trade SPY with 600 bucks per trade, $1,000 per trade, and potentially take a loss and screw up the progress that we're trying to make with the account, but rather keeping realistic goals. and seeing if we can maintain those goals and be consistent. There's going to be really good days. There's going to be really bad days. And right now we've went ahead and logged in two good days, right? Is what we'll call them. Like nothing extraordinary. Basically got about 3% on the portfolio 2 days in a row. Our goal is only 2%. So we're exceeding our goals, and that's always good, right? You've got to encourage yourself and not necessarily reward yourself, but give yourself the recognition that you deserve whenever you are meeting your goals or exceeding your goals. That way, whenever you fall short of your goals, you can remember that, hey, this is an anomaly. This isn't something that happens all the time. Remember all those times where I did meet my goals, I did exceed my goals. I just got to stay focused on the long term. So, yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy the update on, the 100K account challenge. We're going to see if we can grow this up to 100K. Be sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you guys want to follow along with the journey. And if you guys want to see my actual TA and get my, ideas on the market, and, see some free trade ideas that I post online, sign up for the newsletter, watch some of my other recent videos that I've dropped, and I think it's some really good content you guys will enjoy.